You know that moment when your phone buzzes and your heart skips? It's him. The guy who said he was too busy to talk yesterday, but now he's liking your Instagram story at 2 a.m. again. The same guy who told you, I'm not ready for something serious, but then texts, I miss your energy 2 days later. 1 minute, he's flirting like he wants to fly you out for a weekend getaway, and the next, he disappears like a magician in a cloud of ghosting smoke. Sound familiar? You're not crazy. You're just stuck in what I call the mixed signal maze. And girl, we've all been there. You replay his messages, you screenshot the conversations, you ask your friends what they think he meant by, you're different from other girls. But what if, instead of obsessing over the meaning behind every half-hearted emoji or breadcrumb text, you had something smarter in your corner? Something that never gets emotionally attached, but reads his words with laser clarity? That's where ChatGPT comes in. Yes, I'm talking about artificial intelligence, but don't scroll just yet. Because once you see what this tech can do, you'll wonder how you ever dated without it. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use ChatGPT to decode his mixed signals, not just so you can understand what he's saying, but what he's really thinking underneath it. If you're tired of guessing, obsessing, or second-guessing whether he's into you or just keeping you on the back burner, stick around. This might be the clarity you didn't know you needed. Welcome to Cracking the Man Code today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell because decoding modern men just got a whole lot easier. Let's talk about mixed signals. You know, those confusing hot and cold messages that leave you feeling more anxious than excited. One day he's texting, "Good morning, beautiful," and sending heart emojis. The next, he's leaving you on read for hours, maybe even days. It's that frustrating in-between space where it feels like something could be real, but nothing is actually moving forward. And let's be honest, mixed signals are more than just annoying. They can be emotionally exhausting. You start questioning yourself. Did I say too much? Was I too available? Should I have waited longer to reply? That's where this channel, Cracking the Man Code Today, comes in. I'm here to help smart, self-aware women stop wasting emotional energy on men who can't or won't communicate clearly. And today, I want to introduce you to a powerful new ally in the dating world, ChatGPT. Yes, artificial intelligence. No, it's not going to magically make him fall in love, but it will help you break down what he's actually saying, detect emotional inconsistencies, and even predict potential red flags before you get too deep. Think of it like your emotionally detached, data-driven best friend, one that doesn't get caught up in the drama and gives it to you straight. In this video, I'll show you how to use ChatGPT to decode confusing messages, gain clarity when you're stuck in "what does he mean" territory, and shift the power dynamic back in your favor. Because the truth is, once you learn how to read between the lines and teach your AI assistant to do the same, you'll stop wasting time on maybes and start attracting real, aligned connections. Let's decode those mixed signals together. Mixed signals can look innocent, even charming at first. But let's break down some real-world examples of how they show up in dating and why they're so frustrating. Let's start with the "I'm not ready but I like you" guy. He tells you he's not looking for anything serious, yet he keeps texting you every night. He remembers tiny details about your life, compliments your smile, and even hints at future plans. If we ever travel together? But the second you bring up exclusivity, he pulls back. Then there's the ghost and return guy. He disappears for days, sometimes even weeks, without explanation. Just when you're ready to move on, he reappears with a casual "hey stranger" or a late night "miss you." No apology, no accountability, just enough attention to reel you back in. And we can't forget the insta-flirter. He's not texting you consistently, but he's all over your stories, reacting with fire emojis, dropping comments, liking every third post. He's invisible in real life, but somehow shows up digitally just often enough to stay on your mind. Here's the thing. None of these guys are explicitly doing anything wrong. And that's what makes mixed signals so tricky. They create a false sense of potential. They keep hope alive just long enough to prevent you from walking away completely. And for many women, this leads to overanalyzing, screenshotting messages, dissecting every word with friends, and second-guessing yourself. You're stuck in a mental loop of, what did he mean by that? That's emotional labor, and it's exhausting. This is where ChatGPT becomes such a game changer. It doesn't get caught up in your feelings. It's not biased. It looks at the pattern of his words, the tone of his messages, and the inconsistency in his actions. And then it helps you see clearly what you might be too close to notice. Coming up next, I'll show you how to input real messages into ChatGPT and get the clarity you deserve. All right, let's get into the part you've been waiting for, how to actually use ChatGPT to decode his mixed signals. Let's take a real-life example. You just got this text. You're such an amazing woman. I'm just in a complicated place right now. Sounds sweet, right? Complimentary, vulnerable, but also a little vague. Let's open ChatGPT and input the following. Hey ChatGPT, I got this message from a guy I've been seeing casually. He said, "You're such an amazing woman. I'm just in a complicated place right now. What does this mean, and should I take this as interest or an excuse?" ChatGPT's response: this message is a classic example of emotional cushioning. He's complimenting you to soften the impact of what he's really saying, that he's not ready or willing to pursue something more serious. The phrase complicated place is deliberately vague. It could mean emotional baggage, career stress, another relationship, or simply not wanting to commit. While he may genuinely like you, this message is more of a polite exit strategy than an invitation to continue. Oof, that stings, but it's clear, and that's the power. Let's try another. You're different from other girls. I'm not ready for a relationship, but I want to keep seeing you. We ask ChatGPT, can you analyze this message from a guy who says he's not ready for a relationship, but still wants to keep seeing me? ChatGPT replies, this indicates he enjoys the connection but isn't willing to offer exclusivity or long-term commitment. Statements like, you're different, are often used to maintain your emotional investment without providing real structure. It's a way of having access to intimacy while avoiding responsibility. Notice something? ChatGPT isn't guessing, it's spotting patterns in language and intention. It sees what you might be emotionally too close to recognize. This tool won't tell you what to feel, but it will give you the words to name what's really happening. And when you can name it, you can make powerful decisions from clarity, not confusion. Coming up next, I'll show you how this changes your entire dating dynamic. So, let's take a moment to reflect. You just saw how ChatGPT broke down those seemingly sweet, emotionally complex messages and revealed the underlying truths they carried. Not only did it cut through the fluff, but it also gave you language to name the behavior instead of rationalizing it. That clarity, it's everything. Because here's the truth. When you understand what someone is actually saying instead of what you hope they're saying, you change your emotional position completely. You go from anxious and over-invested to calm, informed, and in control. Let's revisit that first message. You're amazing, but I'm in a complicated place. Before, you might have read that and felt hopeful. You might have thought, maybe if I'm patient, things will change. But now, with ChatGPT's insight, you see it for what it really is, a gentle letdown dressed up in flattery. That changes the game. Instead of chasing clarity from someone who isn't giving it to you, you're now creating it for yourself. You're no longer reacting from emotion, you're responding with awareness. And that's one of the most underrated forms of self-respect. It's not just about decoding his signals, it's about redefining your standards. When you stop settling for almost and maybe, you make space for someone who's ready to speak with clarity, not contradiction. And honestly, that's what modern dating needs more of. Women who trust their interpretations, not just their feelings. And tools like ChatGPT help you do exactly that. You're no longer guessing if he's into you. You're no longer waiting for signs. You're reading the message, analyzing the pattern, and choosing what aligns with your worth. That's the shift. Coming up in the final section, I'll show you how to move forward with this new mindset and use ChatGPT as your go-to support system for making confident, emotionally intelligent decisions in dating. So let's bring it all together. We've talked about the emotional roller coaster that is mixed signals. We've walked through real, confusing messages that so many of us have received, the ones that leave us wondering if we should stay hopeful or finally walk away. And most importantly, we've seen how ChatGPT can cut through the fog with clarity, logic, and emotional detachment, helping you decode what's really going on beneath the surface. This isn't just about analyzing texts. It's about reclaiming your peace of mind. It's about breaking that cycle of second-guessing yourself. It's about becoming the woman who doesn't just react to confusing behavior, but instead responds with self-awareness, grounded confidence, and intention. Using ChatGPT as your support system gives you a level of emotional intelligence that's grounded in facts, patterns, and perspective. It helps you take a step back and view your situation as it is, not as you wish it could be. And that perspective is powerful. So the next time your phone lights up with a vague message, or you're wondering if you're reading too much into things, open up ChatGPT. Input the message. Ask the hard questions. Let AI help you peel back the layers of confusion, not because ChatGPT replaces your intuition, but because it sharpens it. With every conversation you analyze, you get better at spotting patterns, you get quicker at identifying red flags, and more importantly, you stop chasing clarity from people who refuse to give it. From here forward, dating becomes less about guessing games and more about discernment. Here's your next step. Try it. Pick a real message that left you unsure. Plug it into ChatGPT. Ask for an interpretation and see how it feels to approach your dating life with that level of emotional clarity and personal power. If this video helped you see things in a new light, hit like, subscribe, and tap that bell for more dating tools and tech-driven insights. Right here on Cracking the Man Code today. And remember, you don't need to decode him alone. You've got the tech, you've got the tools, and now you've got you, fully informed and in control.